Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Casual KO. Getting a late release for the folks out there that do watch and listen. This will be on Alex's YouTube. He's hopefully going to join us. If you want to watch the video, tune into Profit Picks YouTube. Profit like fortune teller, and it is you probably have to type in Profit Picks MMA, and it's the black circle with the yellow and red letters. Looks like Pulp Fiction if you've seen it. Growing channel over there. Follow him, like the videos. It's growing. It's small right now, but he's trying to grow it. And then yeah, we appreciate everybody listening on the audio feed. Still getting quite a few listeners over here. I'm happy with the numbers, so we're gonna keep putting these out. It's not a waste of time. Um, Last card was what? It was UFC 301, correct?
Yep.
I forgot about it because I don't want to really remember it. I had so many good picks, but the odds, as you know, the odds were kind of tricky, and I don't really like doing too many parlays. Like if I'm doing parlays these days, I like to keep them two legs, and I got to be real confident in them. Um, I was trying to kind of spice up the odds because I don't gamble with a ton of money. I don't put like $300-400 down on a bet ever, hardly, unless I'm up a lot on the night. So you're trying to leverage like $20-25 bets. I picked in that first fight of the night, we all were on Borja. Never ever again am I picking the same as you guys if it's an underdog. If we all pick the same and it's an underdog, I'm out. And I'm worried that the first fight of the night is like that, possibly. I don't know if we're all on the dog or where we're at, but I'm gonna really pay attention to that because it happens, man. It happened a couple times on that card, I think. Um, but yeah, my picks were all around really good. Just not getting. I had Borjas fucking KO round two, round three. I had Barbosa sub round, just sub in general. So none of it really went very well. Great night of fights though, man. That Anthony Smith sub, you got to tell me about that. But talk about your overall kind of record on the card.
Yeah, I mean, we killed it on the card. I had quite a few bets out. I only lost one of them, which was a pretty close decision. But the whale bet hit Smila Sundell with one FC, and we parlayed that with Oral Buy against Elvis Brenner. It worked out for us. So we hit the big one. We were already good to go. And then, dude, it seemed like every parlay I was putting out there was hitting besides that one with Ernesta. But
You gotta love those nights, man. That's how it was for the fucking
oh
Ryan
man,
Garcia boxing card for me. I'm like just guessing, and it's just all hitting. I fucking
it's
ended up like a
awesome,
few
dude.
$100s.
Yeah, you're sitting there like everything you touch turns to gold, and it's like, where does this end? And then
Yeah,
I shot $100, Anthony Smith by submission, and I'm like, is this
damn.
where it ends? And it fucking hits, dude. Plus
So you got
1,200.
$1,200 off that?
Yeah,
Wow, good job, dude. Yeah, so that's probably one of your better weekends ever, huh?
yeah. It was a good night. It was fucking solid. It was probably a close number two, the best one I've ever had.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, congratulations. Shoot some of that luck over my way this weekend, and don't be afraid to share any picks. If you're on a heater, shoot all your picks over to me. I'll take the ones I like. I followed you on a couple of your one picks. But I did like a round robin with like 8 legs, and only four of them needed to hit. And then like I kind of did some of my own picks, so I fucked up that too. But yeah, man, just kind of having fun with it right now. Probably gonna be a little low volume this weekend. Um, I'll have some action on every fight as a good degenerate does. But I'm not gonna go crazy, man. So this is a great card though, dude. Super fun card. I love these fight nights that are in cities. They're always fun, man. Um, the Apex is cool, for what it is, just to get some fights in, but these have a different feel to them, man. They feel like pay-per-views to me, even though it's just a little lower level talent, right? Derrick Lewis headlining, I think between his ninth and 11th, the numbers are kind of skewed out there. Some people say it's his ninth, some people say it's 10th, some people say it's his 11th main event, which is wild. I like the guy, everyone likes him, but I mean, he's got more fucking main events and some champions and some real marquee names. So, thoughts on the overall card before we get in, and hopefully, like I said, Alex will be joining us before we stop recording.
Yeah, I think it's solid. I don't think anyone on here is selling anything on a pay per view, but I mean, name value aside, great matchups on pretty much all throughout the card.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah,
of
I
lot
think
of close ones.
I mean, as far as that goes, I could see Borshev and Hooper on a pay-per-view. I could see anytime Despain fighting on a pay-per-view. Um, you're right about like your favorite fighter in the world, favorite physique in UFC, favorite body type, Sean Woodson. He's not going to really be on any kind of pay-per-views, right? But Robeski would, Olberg would, um, Ruzaboyev was last time, Joaquin Buckley. I mean, we got some big names,
Oh
but
yeah, I'm saying, but no one's main or co-main out of this anyone on this card,
sure. I mean,
at least right now.
every time Ricci fights, it's must-see TV, not necessarily because she's good at fighting, but because of her. I mean, just probably one
She's
of the hottest.
very well rounded.
Yeah, dude. She is that Callum Walsh is a very lucky man, I will say. Um,
Yeah, I
but
seen him put a heart on one of her posts, and I replied to him and said, "Public enemy number one."
well, dude, there's this guy that I like listening to. It's also I'll shout them out. Way bigger channel than us. Probably anyone that listens to this listens to them. It's called We Want Picks. I don't think Alex likes them, and I don't know how you feel about them. But there's this guy on there. His name's Jacob. I was gonna say Jared, but he always talks about like he loves Brazilian women, and he posted a picture of Tabitha Ricci in like some casual clothes with her fucking abs and like just her physique's pretty wild. And Callum Walsh like commented on it with the chain emoji. Like he's like, yeah, I got that locked down. And then they just start talking back and forth, like, what kind of car are you driving? Like, all this shit. It was pretty funny, dude. It was a cool little thing, but I'm sure that that dude's pretty cool, man, Callum. But what do you say we roll into these picks, man?
Let's do it.
I'll start this off because I'm actually very interested to see what you say. And when Alex comes on, we'll give him the floor. Hopefully he makes it. Like I said, can't stress it enough. You know, I don't want him to feel like he's left out. Um, this is a really, really good matchmaking, man. If you watch how these girls fight, and if you watch their last opponents, both of their last opponents, JJ Aldrich is with Montana De La Rosa, Veronica Hardy last fought. Uh, slipping my mind right now. Bigger girl, Jamie Lynn Horth. And you know, Jamie Lynn Horth is big, like JJ Aldrich is, slower, kind of more plodding. I've heard people say it, and I tend to agree. JJ Aldrich is probably one of the least athletic, you know, women in the division or in the UFC potentially, but she's good at what she does. Um, I just kind of see Veronica Hardy as someone that's getting better, like in between each fight. You know, she's got this new career resurgence under Dan Hardy. And I think that she's going to improve a lot. I heard that she's been powerlifting to kind of compensate for her small size. Um, that's going to help against somebody that's going to try and clinch like JJ. I think JJ wins this by clinching, pushing her up against the fence and being boring, kind of like Horth was trying to do. But Veronica's timing is just getting better and better, man. Like if JJ throws any like weak kicks, Hardy's going to catch her, and she's got some power, man. She dropped Horth like it felt like 10 times last time they fought. And people were calling that a robbery, like a close fight. And I think that Hardy won it all day. So, and I have no reason to like her. I'm not like you know, passionate about her. She lost me money on who was it? Fucking Juliana Miller back when I thought she was actually good. Um, so I gotta go Veronica Hardy here. The ends in decision is minus 550. So I think that's probably what's gonna happen. Um, I don't know if I want to pick like decision on a bet, but I'm definitely going Veronica Hardy. This is line close enough to where you can just pick your side. But I'm on Veronica Hardy by decision for the official pick.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you here. Hardy comes in with that Taekwondo base. You know, she throws a lot of kicks. She wants to find her range and just kind of keep this a striking match at distance. She's looked pretty good in her last two fights, but I think it's definitely fair to say those two girls are definitely a step below Aldridge. Um, you know, though I'd say the common or the consistent weakness for her has always been in the grappling. If she does end up on the ground, she's pretty active, but she finds a way of putting herself in shitty positions, which, you know, it's kind of tough to get behind. On the Aldrich side, she should look to get this to the ground early, but I wouldn't be banking on it. She's okay on her feet, but there's been times when she's at distance that she looks a little uncomfortable in there. Uh, I mean, she's got to make this fight boring. Get it against the fence, get it on the ground. That's going to be the path of least resistance. But I've seen both these girls not show up in the past. This fight's probably going to play out really closely. Most likely going to a decision. You can't trust either girl, but I'm going to side with Hardy here to take a decision.
Okay. Yeah, I was initially on Aldrich, and I'm gonna reconsider it. Excuse me one second. All right, a cough. I hate when people cough into the damn microphone. Um, I might go back to JJ Aldrich. I gotta do some serious digging, and it's really tough, dude, to watch these girls fight, like extensively. And with Hardy, you only have really two fights that you can watch. With JJ, there's quite a few. But I gotta tell you, man, and this sounds so fucking mean. I if I lose to JJ Aldrich again, I'm gonna be so pissed just because of the way she looks, right? And I'm not calling her ugly. I'm not being a dick. I'm trying to be more positive and nicer. But her red face, right? Like my face looks red because the fucking color's in here. It's not this red, really. Her red face, her big bulbous head, I can't do it. Like it's so frustrating when she wins and I'm like, fuck, on top of me losing money and then I'm seeing her fucking celebrate. It really is rough for me. But she seems like a nice girl. Like I said, no disrespect. But yeah, man, if she fucks me over again, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I don't like picking her. I don't like her style, man. She's boring, like you said. I think she's very unathletic. She's always kind of coming in a little fat, right? Um, so yeah, it is what it is, but we are on the same page there. If Alex is also on Hardy, which I have a feeling he is, I'm gonna have to really reconsider here. So we will see.
Yeah, you might have to go with the albino egghead by the end of this.
Yeah, that's what's frustrating, man. I did have her, I will say, JJ, if you're listening, she's not listening, but I had her round two knockout against Na, and I knew it was a long shot. I put like $20 on it, and she gave me some good money there. So yeah, she Na's just kind of shitty though. Second fight of the night, another very interesting matchup. I love this matchup. Jared Gooden versus Kevin Air Jusay, the Night Train, too, dude. What a great nickname. Night Train versus Air Jusay. You can take this one first, man. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, I like Jusei. He's a dude with a judo background. He's got a really solid ground game, and then getting with city kickboxing, his striking's definitely evolved. I like what I see. Dude's got a nice jab, throws hard calf kicks, and I mean, this fight, just find his range, jab, kick. That's going to be his moneymaker in this one. If I really poke any big hole in his game, I'd like to see a little more head movement, maybe just a little more sound defensively, because I have seen this dude get hit a bit. Granted, he's tough and tends to walk through it, but there's definitely some wrinkles that I think he can figure out. I think Gooden's a good guy to go against here. He's a dude that really, really believes in his power, and he's not throwing combinations. He's really just kind of one shot at a time, trying to land that big one. And the dude keeps his hands super, super low.
Mhm.
The grappling's not great, nowhere near the level of Juice. If what Good needs to do if he's going to pull this off, I would say he needs to make a brawl. That's probably his best chance. But even in those kind of wild exchanges, this dude leaves himself wide open. And after about a round or so goes by, the cardio takes a pretty big drop off.
Mhm.
You know, and just because I've seen this dude look so gassed and somehow survive, I'm gonna say this fight goes a distance. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the Frenchman to win a decision here.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I'll just save some time here. I am on the same page exactly. Jusay by decision, but I will say that I was concerned because of the power of Gooden, however the fuck you pronounce his name, and the fact that Jusay does get hit so much, it is concerning. But he likes to counter, right? Seems like they teach a lot of counter punching over there at City Kickboxing, and he's never been knocked out. I was looking at that. It says that he's been knocked out once, but it was a doctor stoppage, and it was against high level fighter, dude. His name's slipping my mind right now, but I'll go and check really quick on Tapology. JDM, dude. JDM's the only guy that ever beat him by technically knocking him out, but it was a doctor stoppage at the end of round two. So he hung in there with someone like JDM, who I think very highly of the striking. Powerful dude too. So you just look at the guys that he's fought. Yeah, he hasn't fought many good dudes other than JDM. A lot of debutantes, a lot of 0-1 guys. He's fought a 11-1 guy, a 12-6 guy. So those are good. But when he makes his entrance into the UFC, fights Kiefer Crosby, wins by submission, which you didn't really see coming. But dude, I think that even though he's kind of a little bit more boring, he does kind of have a little bit of that savant type style that a lot of these Frenchies have. Um, Maybe City Kickboxing is kind of teaching him how to be a little more kind of aggressive. So yeah, I'm with you. Gooden has been rocked too. I think very lowly of Wellington Turman, and he rocked him bad a couple times, man. He had him doing the zombie stepping in potholes thing, and It was interesting. So yeah, I'm with you though, man. I think that that's the side to be on. You can't just really pick someone based on like the chance that they can just knock them out because it's a fight that can obviously happen anytime. So lockstep on these first two fights of the night. A little concerning, but Alex isn't here to break the ties, so maybe we're on the right side here. Now I'm excited about this one. We got Jake Hadley versus the local fighter here in Charles Energy Johnson. Big fan of Charles Johnson, man. It might sound weird, but I like this dude. He steps up on short notice a lot. He fought his last fight. I think that was like one of his first on a full camp, other than maybe his debut. He might have. I don't even know if he's fought any of those losses on a full camp. I could be wrong. Might be stupid to say that. My thing is the next UFC event, isn't that in the UK?
Um, the next one, I don't think that's the next one, is it? So soon?
Let me see. UFC.com. Because, and the reason why I'm saying this is because, well, nonetheless, there is a UFC card coming up very soon in his home area, right? So why would they save this dude, or why would they not save this dude? I should say for that. And they're going straight here to freaking, okay, it's not that soon. It is it's a little ways away, yeah. So never mind. Scratch that. I heard that somewhere. That was fake news. Um, the reason I was gonna bring that up is because Dana White doesn't really like this dude. I don't know if you know that. Like Dana White doesn't like Jake Hadley's attitude. There's also a possible rumor that this fight like might not happen because of Jake Hadley's weight cut. I guess it's going really bad already. I heard that. It's a rumor. Who knows how true it is? Obviously making the flight over and shit like that. So yeah, dude, I really like Charles Johnson. I like his game. If you give me a bad weight cut Hadley who's gonna gas later, Charles Johnson, I mean, he needs to be in a 5 round fight. This dude weaponizes cardio. So yeah, give me Charles Johnson, and I will take the knockout round 3. I'm gonna go Johnson KO 3. What you got?
I mean, Johnson's good, dude. I like them. I really like the Muay Thai style, and he's definition of a switch stance fighter. With that Muay Thai style, he'll throw a knee and land right into orthodox, and then throw another one and land back in the salt pot. I like that kind of striking style, and he's a dude that is cardio. That it's a big weapon for him. He can maintain a pretty high pace, especially late in the fight. Um, but my main issue with him is he's a slow starter. Like I don't. It's not often you see him looking good in the first round, and it's just hard to get behind that. I mean, in this fight, he needs to be aggressive, and he can't find himself on the back foot against a guy like Hadley, a dude who's got really sharp boxing. He's got fast hands. The striking defense is good too. The guy blocks a lot of the shots that come back at him. I think he might be a little bit faster with the hands. He's definitely better on the ground. I think he's a little bit more well-rounded of a fighter. And with the pace that he pushes, it's one I hope he can keep. But I got to imagine Hadley's going to be ahead at the end of the first round. With Charles Johnson, he's been a hard guy for me to bet in the past because I don't like betting on someone that I know is going to be playing catch up. It's just a tough sell there.
Right.
He's good. I like the guy, but I got to side with Hadley on this one by decision. But Johnson getting him out of there in the third, that's not a bad take at all because Hadley could slow down, and Johnson's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping for because yeah, I agree. Johnson is a little bit patient. Um, is that kind of a thing in Muay Thai? Is there like a style that a lot of people are kind of calm when the fight
Well,
first
yeah,
starts?
so, yeah, what it is too, and he's done a lot of training at Tiger Muay Thai. A big thing in Muay Thai is returns. So if you're getting hit, you need to be returning something. So a lot of guys will have that conservative counter style where they wait to get hit with the kick and they immediately blast a kick back. It's really the returns are scored very highly.
Okay. Interesting. We have the same fucking Muay Thai Johnson, so get it together. And he needs to go back to that haircut that he has on Tapology because he's a normal looking dude there. That stupid fucking mullet that he has where he's bald and then he's just got like the little bit of curls is weird.
Very weird.
Um, but hey, that's his choice. So you said Hadley by what method?
I'm gonna go decision, but
Okay.
I'm gonna put some thought into that Johnson round three. That's a pretty good take. I bet it'll have good odds.
Yeah, I'll probably like usually I'll do like a 2-3 combo. So I might do that,
Right.
but I'll sprinkle a little bit on the round 3 KO. Um, Usually when I do something like that, like I pick Johnson because he's already an underdog in his home city, by the way.
Right.
Um, put some on him himself, put some on the knockout, put some on 2 and 3, and put some on 3. You know, like just kind of sprinkle a little bit on each. Going back to you for Trey Watt, yeah, Trey Waters versus Billy Goff. Pretty wild line movement. I don't know if you're familiar with the line movement here. Goff opened as a considerable favorite, and now Trey Waters is a considerable favorite. So we got Trey the Truth Waters versus Billy Goff. What you got here with this one?
Are you 100% sure about that? That the line flip golf was a favorite? I find
Yeah, we
that
can
kind of hard
check.
to believe.
Yeah, I think it's because of all of his let's see, is this the fight odds? We can check live on the air right now because I was already wrong about one thing. Let's see. Yeah, look. So it opened. Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah,
No.
Waters has been. I know the line came down on Waters a little bit. I saw him minus 170 ish, and then I saw him today around minus 160.
No, man. Everyone was saying that this line flipped. So maybe like when they first announced the fight, you know how like Bet Online kind of has those out earlier than like DraftKings and all that shit. Um, I heard it over and over again. I'm like dead set on that, dude. So maybe I'm crazy and fucking going senile already. But yeah, I swear, I heard that multiple places that the line flipped.
I don't know. I'll check it. I think you're being misdirected
It
here.
could be. That wouldn't be the
But
first
um,
time.
but yeah, Waters, he's coming into this fight with a massive size advantage, being 6'5", and Billy Goff being 5'10". Uh, it's one thing to be the much bigger guy. It's another thing to know how to use that size. And Waters is a dude that knows how to use that length. His jabs and his teeps, I mean, those are fucking money for him. He has pretty good timing too. I'd like the way that he sets his power up, and being that as big as he is, a lot of his shots come right up the middle, or the strikes he's throwing, everything's coming right up the middle. And he's a hard guy to find because with that length, he can land his shots and still be far enough away from you that you're not going to get yours off. It doesn't take much more than the lean back to get out of the way of a lot of the danger coming at him. Uh, the one major concern I have with him is I've seen him get taken down one time, and that one time he was taken down, he was submitted shortly after. It was against one of the Bond themes, so it's against a good fighter, so you don't want to discredit him too much there, but it's definitely something to have in your mind. On the Billy Goff side, I mean, being this much smaller, he needs to close the distance fast, and he just needs to try to overwhelm Waters with volume. He's a dude that's got a lot of heart and a lot of toughness. In his contender series fight, I seen this dude get dropped bad, and he found a way to get up, stay in the fight, and ended up finding the finish himself. He's a good dude. He's willing to take one to land one. He's got some sharp boxing, and he can be pretty exciting. But in this fight, I just feel like he's going to be a little bit outsized here. If he's going to win, he's got to be aggressive. He's got to try to make this ugly. I believe in his toughness enough that he can blast and go the distance, but I think Waters might just be a step ahead in the striking. And, if it stays where he wants it, he's going to end up picking Goff apart. So I'm going to side with Waters here to win a decision.
Waters to get the decision. I like that. Yeah, a lot of people are really kind of liking the one loss that Trey Waters has against Gabriel Bonfim because the Bonfim brothers are the shit, right? And Gabriel Bonfim is the better of the two brothers. He lost to Nicholas Dalby, who no one really likes. You know what I mean? His fighting style is very effective. That breathing that he does is strange, but it works so well, dude. Like if you run or whatever like that, and you breathe like intentionally hard and like repetitive, your cardio is good. Like it absolutely changes. Um, I cannot find proof of what I'm saying about the line movement, so could be fake news. Yeah, man, you're going another decision here. You're expecting a boring fucking start here, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect to get these all right. I was thinking that as I was making these picks, that there's no way this many fights in a row go the distance.
Well, I mean, it is really kind of like the most likely way that you get a 100% prediction if you pick decision. Uh, man, I actually really like Goff here because I don't think that Trey Waters is that good. I think that what he has is the size. I think that Goff can take the hits and run in there and crash the pocket, make this ugly. Trey Waters will probably be backing up quite a bit because I don't think he's gonna respect the jab too much. And the dude's tough, man. I know he's got like long hair and shit now. He's kind of changed his look up a little bit. Not that that matters for the fight, but I do kind of like when some of these fighters like change shit up a little bit. And he's been working pretty hard, man. It looks like on his Instagram. So give me Goff. I really don't see this going anywhere but a decision if Goff were to win. I don't think he's knocking out Trey Waters. I doubt he submits him. It could happen, but give me Goff decision as well. And you've got the other side. Got most fights ending by decision so far myself. Only the Johnson KO round 3. Now this is back to you. We've got Tabitha Ricci versus Tisha Pennington now, formerly known as Tisha Torres. She's probably the hottest lesbian in the UFC, I would say. Tisha Torres. She's a good looking chick. Aaron Blanchfield's kind of cute too. Got a big nose on her, but you know, give me Tisha Torres all day. But what do you got as far as a pick on this?
I can tell you, I got another fight to go the distance right here.
Yeah,
Uh,
probably.
I mean, I like both these girls. Ricci, I mean, she's good wherever this fight goes. She's pretty high volume. She tends to like to punch her way into a clinch and then try to get trips from there. She might be a little bit faster on the feet, but I mean, Torres or Pennington now, she's similar to her in a lot of ways. She's another well-rounded girl, and Tisha's only lost to a pretty high level of competition. She's usually high volume. She usually has solid cardio. I'm definitely interested to see how this time off affects her. Um, it's a good matchup. It should play out pretty close here. I'm gonna side with Ricci by decision, but I don't love it because I never want to count Tisha Torres out.
Yeah, the Mackenzie Dern loss looks horrible, right?
Yeah, I mean but there's worse girls you could lose to. You look at her other 5 losses; they're all to very credible girls.
Sure. Yeah, she's only losing to really the best girls out there. Marina Rodriguez, I don't think too highly of either. So, I
I
wanted
mean,
to
she's
pick.
like 11-2. I know you have your opinion about her, but she's a little better than giving her credit for.
Oh yeah, no, she's good. I've always made money betting against her. I've never bet on her. I bet against her with Lemos, and I bet against her with whoever the hell she fought last time. Um, and yeah, she's not. Oh,
Andrade, right?
Andrade. So yeah, I like fading her, but I wanted to pick Tisha Torres so bad, man, because there's this narrative that when women have the baby, right? Like some of these women, like Amanda Nunez, when they have their baby, she didn't, she wasn't carrying it, right? She wasn't the one, which is fucking wild because she's a woman, obviously, but you know, she wasn't the one carrying the baby. It was Nina. When Nina came back, I think she lost her first fight back. Most of these girls lose their first fight back. Even somebody as talented and someone that I do think very highly of, Jermaine Durandamy, right? She, the girl I was calling her GDR the whole damn time. She I thought she was going to come in and beat somebody like Norma Dumont. I don't understand how Norma Dumont can move that well with that fucking CDL license that she's got behind her. Um, so I'm torn here because there's this narrative, and if someone's going to kind of bust that narrative, it is Tisha Torres, and I really don't think that highly of Tabitha Ricci. She's fighting some good fighters. I did bet on her against Jillian Robertson, bet on her against Penne. I think I had Pauliana Viana against her. And then yeah, the I don't know, man. It's tough. Her striking's got to improve, you'd think, right? So where does Tisha Torres win here? I don't know. Um, she's not that much older. She's 34 versus 29. I don't like it at all, but I'm going to take Ricci. I'm going to take it by decision, but I don't like it at all. I don't feel like if someone was picking Tisha Torres, I wouldn't call you crazy. Let's just say it that way. Very, very talented, tiny tornado. All right. What's next? What's next? Terrence McKinney and Esteban Ribovics. Wild fight because Terrence McKinney, whenever he's fighting, it's pretty crazy. He's got a solid 2 minutes of cardio and then he goes to shit. But in that 2 minutes, this dude is dangerous, man. Like one of the most dangerous dudes. Um, I'm taking Esteban Ribovics here, not just because of the 2 minutes, but because he's always so calm. I listened to a podcast early in the week. I usually don't get to listen to it by the time we record this, but I got to listen to it. It's Santino DeFranco's podcast. Have you checked that out? It's on YouTube.
No,
It's um it's Santino DeFranco. Do you know who he is?
no idea.
Okay, so he owns Fight Ready. It's a gym out here in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Pretty high
Yeah, where
level. He's worked
Cejudo's
with,
at.
yeah, Cejudo, Tracy Cortez, a lot of high level fighters, and supposedly he's a master jujitsu, like taking the back and choking people out. Like if he gets your back, he's one of those guys that always will get you out from there. Kind of like a lesser known, lesser paid Charles Oliveira, I guess, from what they say. And he in that gym, they have Camuela Kirk, who's not in the UFC anymore. But pretty good fighter. I think he should be in the UFC. He went 0-2, and they were both very close fights, from what I understand. And then he's just shit can. But he's the producer of the show. He's like off camera, talking. They all give their ideas and whatever. And he fought Esteban Ribovics. Camuela Kirk did. And when they fought, he said that it's scary how calm this dude is when you're putting pressure on him. So that lets me know that he's not going to fucking crumble to the pressure of Terrence McKinney early in the first couple minutes. You got to assume Terrence McKinney's improving his cardio, but we haven't really seen that. You've got to assume it though, right? Like you can't just like consistently go in and roll the dice. You're 15-6 and you're so talented. You got to change something up. So you got to think he's going to do that. But Ribovics is going to stay calm. Um, Camuela Kirk being trained by this, master back taker, great rear naked choker dude, got the back of Ribovics several times in their fight and wasn't able to close the deal there. So give me Ribovics. I think he gets out of round one and he knocks out McKinney in round two. And I think it's going to be a nasty knockout because that's usually how McKinney goes down. So Ribovics knockout round two for me.
Yeah, dude, I think this fight goes one of two ways: McKinney round one or Ribovics round two. Seems pretty cut and dry here. I
Right.
mean, you touched on it. We know where we're getting with McKinney. He's kill or be killed kind of guy. It's just wild, dude, because he has skills. The dude's
Yeah.
got wrestling, he's got grappling, his striking's explosive, it's dynamic. The dude's got all the tools in the world with bad cardio and a fucking dusty chin. It's just it sucks. But you'd like to imagine he's improving the cardio, or maybe in his mind he has good cardio and he's just not pacing himself. He comes out gun shy. Who knows? But fucking dude should just start running more. But
Look, I've never seen this. Sorry to interrupt you. I've never actually seen this on like a high level fighter where he's got no decision
yep,
fights.
dude's never seen a scorecard. It's fucking crazy.
It's fun though,
But
I'll never miss a Terrence
oh
McKinney
yeah,
fight.
it's dude's always fun to watch. That first 5 minutes is about to be wild, no matter
Yeah.
which way it goes. But yeah, Ribovic, I mean, he has a certain calmness to him that is it's pretty surprising because this dude does find himself in a lot of firefights. I mean, he stays technical up until he gets in that firefight, and he fucking dude's not afraid to let it go. And I've seen this dude get cracked and somehow still survive.
He's a
Um,
tough dude.
he's a tough dude that got some power in his hands. He's got pretty sharp striking. He's got solid grappling. I love the switch stances that he's always just trying to give you a different look. You know, I just like what I see with this. There's no way this fight probably makes it to a third round. Um, I feel like should side with Ribovics here, but I'm going to go against my better judgment and say McKinney can do what he does best and get a first round finish here. So I'll go McKinney by knockout round one. And if that doesn't happen, he's sure as shit getting finished in round two.
Yeah, and the books are pretty smart about it too. So even live betting isn't really like worth it here. Like you got to kind of
Yeah.
jump on what you want. I wouldn't be surprised to see McKinney beat the shit out of uh Esteban for like a solid 5 minutes, and then he's like near even going in around two still because it's a
Yeah,
wild
they know
style that he
what's
has.
up.
Uh, a lot of people are talking kind of shit about the way that Esteban Ribovics fights. I don't know why. I've heard that out there like a lot, and I just don't get it, man. His only loss is to Loic Roxabov, who I think pretty highly of. The dude is good. One of those Tajiki fighters that has like a whole country behind him that goes and watches these fights in stadiums at 2 and 3 in the morning and stuff like that. I think he's one of the better Tajiki fighters too. There's that There's a couple other ones that are just not really worth a shit, but he's good. His UFC loss is to Mateusz Rebelski, who's fighting later, and I think very highly of him. And Mateusz missed weight, so or no, I guess he missed weight. Excuse me. So yeah, man, just I don't get the hate for Rebovix, man. He's a fucking solid fighter. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think that like you said, one of us is going to be right on this 100%. You know,
Yeah.
um, McKinney's also a dangerous sub threat on the ground, so something to think about there. And I love this next matchup too, man. This is yours to take. I think this is just a fun match. You know, like obviously everyone's been saying it, grappler versus striker to the max. I have a good idea who you're picking here. Chase the Dream Hooper versus Slava Claus. I just like calling him Slava Claus, but it's Vyashav Borshev. Looks like a man versus a boy here, dude, to be honest. But what do you got for this fight?
Yeah, I mean Chase Hooper, as we know, he's a jujitsu nerd who's definitely been improving his striking, but
Yeah.
just still on the feet, the guy just looks a little bit out of place, and I just think he has a chin that cannot be trusted. Uh, of course, he's always live for the submission. This dude will pull guard, do whatever he's got to do to try to wrap something up. And then on the Slava side, dude, he's a pure kickboxer. He wants to make this a striking match, keep it off the ground. Floor is going to be lava for him. I mean, the dude, I like him on the feet. He makes a lot. He makes good reads. He knows how to get guys to move into his power shots. I've seen his most consistent weapons that have been working for him is his lead left hook and the kicks coming from the left side. You got orthodox for a southpaw. Chase Hooper's going to be circling right towards those best shots. Of course, his biggest weakness it's in the grappling. So clash of two styles, but Hooper's not a guy that's shooting traditional takedowns. He's not shooting those singles and doubles. You know, so because of that, I think Slava actually has a pretty decent chance of keeping this on the feet. And if this stays on the feet, I think he should be able to get Hooper out of there. So gonna side with Slava, round 2 knockout. And I know you already knew I had Slava. You probably already had it written down.
I didn't, but I because every time I do that, someone kind of changes up usually. But I knew that if you're going to take Slava, you're going to take him by KO. You said everything that I would say here too. I do think that Chase Hooper is improving his striking quite a bit, and he's pretty young, man. Like he's actually growing into his like body, and he's growing into everything. He said himself. I mean, this dude is tall, man. He's 6'1". He's 2 inches taller than Borshev is. He's gonna end up being a bigger threat, I think, in the future, like near future, right? When he's 29, 30, 32, up through there, he's gonna be a problem for a lot of people. I don't just like the striking of Slava. I like his get up game, dude. He can get taken down, but his get up game is pretty solid. The problem is if he does get taken down here, it's probably a wrap. He's training out of Team Alpha
Alpha
now.
male.
So you know that Uriah Faber's just working his wrestling. That's a smart camp, man. I used to not really like them too much, but they've really improved. And I've always liked Uriah Faber. What he used to fight in WEC? Is that where?
Yep.
Yeah. I remember like as a kid, dude, watching him at Hooters with all the guys in my family used to go to Hooters on like it was Saturdays for lunch. And I didn't really know what MMA was. And I remember we were watching Uriah Faber fight, and it was a rerun. You know how they used to do him. And I just thought it was interesting because usually these fighters look like fucking badasses. This dude kind of looks like a dopey surfer dude, you know what I mean? And then he goes out there and just like was wrecking dudes. So I think highly of Faber. His gym is really fucking getting their shit together. Give me Borshev. I don't think that this fight gets out around one way or the other. So an under would be smart here. It's probably set at 1.5. And if that's the case, those are always tough, but I just said I don't think it gets out around one way or the other. So I'm taking that under 1.5 and give me Borshev KO round 1. Um, I wrote Slava on yours and I was about to write Borshev on mine just to make it confusing as fuck. Slava. All right, man. Moving on up. You've got a fight that probably lasts 30 seconds. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Robelis Spain. I'm not sold on the Spain yet, dude, but let's see what happens here. What do you think of this fight?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this fight is. I don't see this fight going long at all. Um, Waldo's a dude that I don't think he's ever checked a kick in his life. and he's a pretty one-dimensional dude. He's got that overhand, and I really think that's about all he's got going for him. To Spain, he's a big, powerful can crusher. So the dude in what 5 fights has had about 5 minutes of fight time. You got to have a lot of question marks around him. You don't know how he's going to look as if a fight goes long or late. You don't know how good his wrestling is going to look. There's a lot of question marks around him. I don't think Waldo answers any of those questions for us. So I'm just going to keep it simple. I think the Spain's going to keep doing what he's been doing and find himself a first round knockout here.
Cool. KO round one for you. Yeah, I'm not too much different here. I am just a little bit worried about you know, Cortez Acosta having a game plan, which he usually does not. He used to fight out of Arizona. He lives in Phoenix. And again, these fight ready guys, we're talking about how on the regionals, Waldo Costa Cortez was looked at as like a can. He wasn't looked at as somebody that was good, even though he was 11-1, or he is 11-1 now, having only that one loss in the UFC. So he was undefeated, but he was looked at as somebody that's just like, who cares? The dude's boring. He is kind of a boring fighter. He does his dancing and shit like that, which is stupid because he's usually just point fighting and then dancing like that. Um, I kind of think that Acosta's dumb, dude, and I think that he's going to try and stand up with this fucking giant freak, and he's going to get knocked out. So I think that if there's a fight that ends in 1 minute, it's this fight. I think that it probably does end in 1 minute, and I think that the Spain just fucking wrecks Acosta, and it happens early in round one. If not, we've seen him go into minute two, and I don't think that Acosta can stay safe for 2 minutes. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, we're both obviously on the same page there. That's no surprise. This one, though, this one's fun. Couple veterans. Alex Caceres is more so of a vet than Sean Woodson. I do respect Sean Woodson more than it's about to sound right now. And if he fucking wins again, I'm going to lose my shit because I keep thinking that this guy should lose and he just keeps winning. Wait for this ad to get out of the way. Everyone talks about it. The dude's build is weird as shit. He's got like a fucking, normal 12-year-old torso, and then his legs are like grasshopper legs. It's wild. It's just the weirdest body ever. But he makes his shit work for him. He fights very long. You look at the record of someone like Alex Caceres, it's 21-14, which is nuts. But this dude literally grew up in the UFC, man. You look at how many fights out of that what is it, 21-14 record. He has had 16 and 12. He's had nearly 30 fights in the UFC. That's something that Sean Woodson can't claim. I mean, this dude's a veteran, like straight up, he's a veteran. Fought some great fighters, lost to some great fighters, beat a couple really good fighters too. I think that the game and the mental aspect of Bruce Leroy here is far superior than Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson's kind of a one-dimensional boxer, in my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong. What do you think?
I'm with you on one dimensional. I'd throw the word kick before I'd put boxer,
You
but
think he's a
yeah.
kickboxer? Okay. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
those fucking them long grasshopper legs. He's got some teeps on him. I like to, not bad. He ain't a
okay.
kicker like Caceres though.
Yeah, man, because Eris is nasty, and I think that this is a spot where a lot of people are going to like Woodson because of the momentum and just he's performed really well, dude. Like I can't take anything away from him. There's just something where it's like I feel like he's got to get fraud checked at some point. He's fighting a lot of short dudes. Caceres is taller. He's not as tall as Woodson is. No one is at this weight class. But yeah, give me Caceres, man. Give me Caceres probably by decision. I think that he works in what he needs to do. I wouldn't be surprised if he took Woodson down a couple times, even though Woodson's takedown defense is solid. But yeah, dude, Caceres for me, I'm fairly confident in it too, more confident than I should be with the run that Woodson is on. So I have a feeling you're on the same side, and that does worry me a little bit, but maybe I'm wrong. What do you got? Alex Caceres or Sean Woodson?
So my original pick on this fight was Alex Caceres by submission, and I ended up flipping my pick though. I'm gonna take Woodson to
Wow.
yeah, I'm gonna take that Woodson wins the decision here. He uses his length well. You know, being the shorter guy is not something Caceres is used to. Uh, in this fight though, Woodson he's got to be aggressive. He can't let this be a point fight because though he's the longer guy, I mean he's 6'2" and fucking the majority of it's legs. But Caceres is a kicker, man. I mean, this dude has no problem staying at range, just fucking kicking your head off, taking your legs out. He's good on his feet. He's got good grappling, good get ups. Uh, my thing with Caceres though, it's the striking defense. It's a little misleading, right? If you look at the numbers on it, he's fucking his striking defense is at like 63%. But it's just a little misleading because he's good at getting out of the way and he's good at not getting hit. But when he does get hit, I've seen him get dropped enough times that I have to question the chin on him.
Okay.
Uh, it's just, being the smaller guy, slight smaller guy, just seeing him get dropped. I mean, it's a tough fight here. On the feet, it's going to be close. I honestly do think Caceres has more ways to win this fight. Um, I think I'm just kind of going against my better judgment here, siding with Woodson. And another thing I'll concede, Woodson got some skinny fucking legs, and you got a southpaw versus orthodox with them skinny legs. A calf kick for Caceres is going to be there all night long. So I think you might be on the right side of this, but I ended up talking myself into Woodson.
Well, dude, you know what? Like, and this is such a stupid comparison. So, like, before you laugh, just understand what I'm saying. But I was constantly fading Charles Oliveira. And you know when I stopped fading Charles Oliveira? Guess.
Michael Chandler.
No. I
Okay.
stopped fading Charles Oliveira when he fought Islam Makhachev. Okay. I jumped on the Charles Oliveira. I bet against him against Chandler, against Poirier. Poirier's my dude. The Ninja Turtles right up there of Poirier. Um, Everybody, dude. Justin Gaethje. I'm betting against Charles every time, and I'm like, I cannot doubt this dude anymore. I feel the same way about Woodson, where I actually wanted to pick Woodson, but I feel like it's just for me, it's the wrong time to get on. I think Caceres is weird. He's one of these dudes. I don't really like the martial artist mentality. And when I say that, it's not the idea of like I want to better myself. It's not about how other people do. It's about me just growing myself and being better than my last time. That's cool. But that's not a fight. This is a fight. I don't look at these as competitions. Yes, there's rules, but I see it as a fight. And I like these like people with a killer instinct where it's like, I want to go out there and fuck this dude up and I want to be better than him. Like it's a dick measuring contest. I like that style of fighter. That's what allowed Sean Strickland to beat fucking Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya is a martial artist. He's not a fighter. I think that dude would probably fucking lose in a street fight, potentially against somebody that knows what they're doing. Um, I am kind of concerned about that, but I see two martial artists here. And I think that Caceres has just so much more experience. He's not much older than Woodson, but you wonder if the UFC is trying to build Woodson because he could be a serious problem someday. And the matchmakers are so good at getting what they want. But yeah, man, I got to keep fading Woodson until he loses. He's not going to go with one loss and one draw to the end of his career, right? Like there's just no way. So yeah, give me Bruce Leroy, dude. It's a tough fight to call though for sure. Now you got a good one here. Finally, you've taken a couple bad ones to start. We've got Diego Ferreira versus Mateusz Raumbeski. I'm excited for this one too, man. A lot of good matchups on this card. We touched on that already, but this is a solid one too. What you got?
Yeah, on this one, I'd say the most positive thing I can say about Ferreira is the strength of schedule. I mean, compared to Rebecca, it's not even close. He's a guy though. When you watch him fight, he usually takes a few hard shots before he wakes up. And if he's going to win this fight, he needs this fight to be long. He needs this fight to be ugly. And for the love of God, he needs to stay off of his back. He's got some good scrambling ability, but he's still getting taken down. And, you know, as the fight goes on, those explosive scrambles, they're going to start to fade a little bit. You look at the Rebecca side, this dude is high pressure. He wants to walk guys down. He wants to land those heavy kicks. He got a heavy left hand. And I like the striking on this guy. And that striking opens up his takedowns. He's striking on all three levels. He's hitting you everywhere. And then when you start getting concerned about his hands and his kicks, you're against the fence and he's shooting the takedown on you. The dude's got strong takedowns, good control, and most importantly, he does damage when he's on top. In this fight, I mean, I could see it playing out a little close on the feet. Maybe Ferreira's got some speed, maybe got a little bit of speed on him, but Rebecca's got the more powerful shots. But I just see Rebecca being a step ahead in this fight and especially on the ground. So give me Rebecca finds a knockout in the second round.
Yeah, I like that second round a lot. Yeah, dude, I like Rabeski a lot. It's an I when I wrote the names down here, I even put the little fucking E thing, this thing on this E, this little mark. So it's not to be confused with someone not named Rambeski. Um, yeah, dude, I think you said everything perfect. I mean, Ferreira, obviously, dude's badass. He's fought some beasts. Um, Rabeski does have that. I don't know if it's Rambeski or Rabeski. I've heard it both ways, but dude, I've heard I this guy he does fade. He fades like in round 3, he's junk. Like towards the end of the fight. So luckily for him, I don't think this goes very long. But if you get somebody super durable against Roundbesky, it's gonna be potentially a problem for him. He's another guy that I don't think goes with just one loss in his UFC career. But when does that come? Not this weekend, I don't think. Give me Roundbesky. I think it could be a round 1 knockout, man. I think I kind of see this coming early. You said it yourself that it takes a couple hits for Ferrero to wake up. And I see Rombesky just, taking the advantage of that and just popping this dude a couple times, and it's not going to take much. He is a little older, 39. So that could be a problem for him. But yeah, man, give me Rombesky KO round 1. Easy call on the side though, right? Like Rombesky's got to be one of the bigger favorites on this card.
Yeah, it's I was glad I bet him when I did because well, sneak attack here. He is on the whale bet, and I'm glad I put it in when I did because he is shot up. I looked today. I got him at like just below minus 300, and when I looked today, he was up to minus 500. So
Yeah,
that
I
line
could
is
believe that.
moving.
I could believe that. That sucks because I usually make most of my bets the day of. So yeah, I should have looked at that. But yes, this is another great matchup, man. They're fucking. I mean, this is a featured fight of the night, so it should be one of the better fights on the card. But Alonzo Menafield versus Carlos Olberg, dude, this is good. This is a really, really good fight. I love Alonzo Menafield. I bet on him both times against Jimmy Crute. Jimmy Crute is just whack, and he went out there and he did what he needed to do. Looked good doing it. The dude's got power, man. I actually give the punching power to Alonzo Menafield. I don't know if that's controversial at all because Olberg is such a beast and he's got such great technique. Kind of one dimensional, right? Kind of a one dimensional kickboxer. I think Menafield can kind of do it all. He likes to obviously stand up and strike. I'm tempted to take Menafield here, man. I'm really tempted, even though I think that Carlos Olberg's the side. They're trying to get more fighters out of that area because some of their big guys, Tai Tuivasa has been fucking sucking. On Volkanovski's kind of, I don't know if he's gonna win unless he takes some serious time off because he's fighting the highest level. That fucking Max Holloway, if Max Holloway goes down to 145, I think that he beats that version of Volkanovski that we've been seeing lately, which is hard to say because he's lost to him 3 times. But that was kind of Volk's problem was like he was fucking wanting to fight every week. And when you get knocked out, you can't do that. So they need there's some new guys out of that area, man. But something about Menafield, man, I just trust him. I think he's the shorter guy here. Yeah, by 4 inches. So not great, but I think he's more well-rounded, and I think he's got the power on his side. So give me Menafield, give me knockout round 1 again. What you got?
Yeah, dude, I don't hate that at all. I mean, you know, I think a lot of people look at Menafield as he's just a power puncher, but like you said, man, this dude's well rounded. He can get takedowns. He seems pretty comfortable wherever he's at, other than on his back. Uh, one little concern with him is his cardio definitely isn't the best. And so I would say he's most dangerous early on in the fight. But at any point, this dude's live for a big KO. And he does have the more well rounded skill set than I would say Olberg has. Olberg, he's a tall, rangy kickboxer, and he's kind of one dimensional. But for a dude his size, he's quick. He moves really good on his feet. He also, he's not the only one in this fight that has KO power, but he should definitely look to just kind of stay at range here and not get into any of those wild exchanges at Menafield. Usually, Oldberg comes out and he's pretty high volume. I would imagine in this fight he takes a little bit more of a measured approach, not necessarily gun shy, but just more aware of the threats that's coming back at him. So I'm going to side with Oldberg here. I'm going to say he finds a knockout. I'm going to say it comes in the second round once Menafield, starts taking his foot off the gas a little bit. But it's a good fight. Minifield has all the skills in the world to win this one. Definitely not married to the Olberg pick, but that's what I'm going to side with here. Olberg KO.
Which round?
We'll say 2. That's how you know I'm not confident.
Yeah, that's what I do too, dude. Every single time. If I don't know
It
what's
just feels
happening, I
right.
just pick 2.
Just feels right.
Well, it makes sense too. Like you let these talented fighters get going a little bit, right? And then they fucking, either one of them slips up or one of them doesn't. I don't think that many round one knockouts should happen in reality. And then decisions damn sure shouldn't happen. So yeah, man, give me round 2. Um, oh yeah, so he's not gonna be back. Alex is not gonna be back until 10. So that's another
Oh,
how
what
the
a
fuck
nerd.
how the fuck do you get out that late? If you're stuck in traffic, I know he's on the East Coast. That's fucking that's literally 2 hours of traffic that you weren't accounting for. What the fuck? What's this dude doing? I'll send you the video anyway, Alex. But yeah, that's yeah, I feel bad because I was the one that kind of initially changed up the schedule, but hopefully Harry can come on for like a pay-per-view or something. Those are always a little more
I don't know.
enticing.
You did say 8 o'clock today, and Alex shot the thumbs up, and now
That's
we're at a
true.
thumbs down. So it's kind of on him.
Maybe he meant to do the thumbs down on accident and he did
Now
this.
you have to write gay fag for all of his picks again. What a shame.
That's true, yeah. Um, I mean, if he wants to shoot his picks, I'll actually ask that. Want to shoot your picks? And I'll say them. And cool. I'll send it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna send him the video. Fun matchup here, man. I think this is interesting. Joaquin Buckley wanted to be the main event, and he said no one wants to see a Derrick Lewis fight. Derrick Lewis actually agreed with him. No one wants to see a main event. And Derrick Lewis, man, very aware of himself, right? Like the dude is so sick. I love that guy. Supposedly he's gonna make a WWE debut at some point. They were asking him what would be his finishing move. And I forget the wrestler's name. Was it a like Rikishi or something where they shook
Yeah,
their
the dude that
ass?
used to put his ass in the dude's face in the
Yeah, he was
corner.
like, it's got to be something like that. So, yeah, I love Derek Lewis. He's very aware of himself, and you gotta love it. Joaquin Buckley, someone I don't think is very aware of himself. We got Joaquin Buckley versus Nursultan Ruzaboyev. I like how his nickname is just Black, and he's fighting a black dude.
Wow, I never noticed that. That
And
is
just call
weird.
me Black. And
That's pretty
Joaquin,
fucking funny.
I know. And Joaquin Buckley is New Mansa. He's dipping into that Jamaican heritage. I think this is yours, man. You can take it if not.
Yeah, well, Ruzaboya fighting out of your favorite gym, Renzo Gracie Philly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's a big dude. He's got big power, and he has a lot of low level experience. He's obviously got good jujitsu too. But one big thing I have with him is the cardio. Because if you look at his losses, they always go long. So he definitely hasn't had anybody in there to really test his cardio in the UFC yet. I think Buckley's that guy. I think we can probably agree Buckley's the best guy he's ever had in front of him in a cage. He's got solid striking. He has KO power, good takedown defense, and he's a dude that I do see him improving. He's got a fan friendly style, fan friendly attitude. The crowd's going to be behind him in this fight. I mean, he got the card he wanted to be on. I think this is kind of made for him. I mean, Rosaboya, he's a 185er fighting at 170 on short notice. You got to wonder how he's going to look on the scale. I mean, you got to wonder if that's going to work for or against him. I just think this fight
Yeah.
is good for Buckley. I think it goes long and Buckley gets him out of there late. I'm gonna go with Buckley to find a knockout in the third round here. I'm not sold on Zaboyev yet. I've bet on him in both of his UFC fights, and he got first round finish in both of them. But if you got to look a little bit deeper, and if you look at those losses against lower level guys, it's as the fight goes on, the dude, if he doesn't get you out of there early, he's gonna get sloppy and he's gonna slow down. I'm just not sold on the dude, and we'll see if I'm on the right side of this one. But I think this is good for Buckley. I think this is a pretty on as Anthony Smith, my boy from last week, would say on paper,
Yeah.
this is a really credible win for Buckley. So
Yeah.
give me Buckley knockout round 3.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. Now I'm not batting so well when it comes to saying things that I've heard online and then, with this card. But I did hear that 7 of 8 of Ruziboyev's losses have come at welterweight at 170. So,
Oh, is that right? I didn't even know that.
well, again, I've said some other shit here that I can't
That has
prove.
been inaccurate.
Yeah, there's been some inaccuracies, some things in question. But I mean, you can go through Tapology to confirm that or you know, disprove it. And yeah, a lot of these things are coming by decision. He's not getting put away. He's only been put away twice in that extensive career. He's fought a lot of great fighters. I'm sorry, horrible fighters. I'm surprised that you didn't think that Cedric Dumas is the best fighter that he's ever faced. It's kind of shocking. Because yeah, I don't think that Cedric is even UFC caliber. I've bet on Cedric's once, I think, in all of his fights, and it was his last fight against this dude. So that lets you know how highly I think of Ruzaboyev. Yeah, I think Buckley gets this done, man. I think that the knockout could come in round 2. Because Buckley he's not really a patient guy so much. He likes to do these athletic moves. The dude's very athletic. And yeah, I just definitely see Buckley getting that knockout. I think that that's a safe bet, just taking Buckley knockout. But yeah, give me the round 2. Fuck it. Let's go. I like the round 2 knockout. He's gonna be just more physical in there, man. He's so much taller though, 6'5" versus what is Buckley, 5'10" or some shit.
Yeah, something like I think 5'10".
Yeah, 5'10". So he's 7 inches shorter. That's a significant amount shorter, but their wingspan is the same. So, you know, do with that information what you will. Main event of the evening, Derrick Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. This is a Derrick Lewis spot for me through and through. I think we get a Derrick Lewis round 1 or round 2 knockout. I'll say round 1. Um, Nascimento could definitely pull this off, though, if he just kind of is he much of a grappler?
Yeah,
So if he could kind of be smart, just take this dude down right away, he could drag this out. He doesn't have the greatest cardio, in my opinion, though. I think Derrick Lewis actually fights better tired. Um, Not many heavyweights have great cardio, but Derrick Lewis is able to really push through. And for me, it's they want him to win. They want Derrick Lewis to get this. So give me Derrick Lewis. He's looked like shit, to be honest. Only won 1 out of his 4 last fights, but I don't know. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm kind of worried that he doesn't want these main event spots anymore. Because despite losing so much lately, they're still giving him main events, and he's like, I don't really like fighting in main events. Um, but I made my reads, and I think that Lewis gets this done probably early. Lewis knockout round 1. What you got?
I thought it was pretty funny in his interview when they asked him, like, what do you think about Buckley asking for your main event spot? He said he could still have it. It's not
Yeah,
Saturday yet. Um,
yeah,
I mean, the dude, we know he doesn't want to fight for 5 rounds, and we know he doesn't want to wrestle. I mean, he's at the tail end of his career, and we know he's pretty much KO or bust, unless it's that fucking Nagano fight, which is up there with Carla versus Rose on most boring fights ever.
right.
But
They're just respecting each other's power so much.
yeah,
Also,
and
don't
it ended
forget
up,
that flying knee. I know that's a knockout, but that's not something that you would expect. So it's almost like lately he's got to win by fluke like that.
yeah, it was fucking awesome too. And his post fight interview, Rogan's like, were you drilling that flying knee? He said, no, I figured I'd just throw some bullshit and see if it lands.
Yeah,
It
and it
fucking
landed.
did.
Fuck
Yeah,
that
that
dude's
was
mouth
crazy,
up.
dude. It was awesome. But yeah, Nascimento, I mean, if he has a brain in his head, he's going to want to get Lewis on the ground early and keep him there. And honestly, on the feet, I think he's a faster guy. Definitely, every second there, if you have Nascimento, every second they're on the feet, you're going to be clenching your ass cheeks waiting for him to get knocked out. But I think he's the faster guy. He's clearly better on the ground, and just having those in mind that like, yeah, he's definitely, he's faster. He's better on the ground. He should probably win this fight. I still have this gut feeling Lewis is going to fucking chin him. And considering Nascimento has been chinned by Chris Dawkins, it's if Chris Dawkins can fucking start you, Derrick Lewis has a good chance of doing it too.
Yeah, it's a bad loss,
So
dude.
yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna still side with him here. I'm gonna say he finds a submission. Uh, I'll say it comes in round 3. Fucking, I'm not like super confident on it, but it's just hard to get behind Lewis at this point in his career. Although Derrick Lewis fighting in St. Louis, I can't get there. But if he's gonna win this fight, he's gonna fucking absolutely starch this dude. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, I'll sprinkle a little on the KO round one, and that's probably I think that's his win condition. If not, I might have a little action on both sides here. But super fun card, man. I'm excited. It starts nice and early too. I think it starts at 1.
Oh
Um,
yeah, for you, 4 for us.
yeah, 4 Eastern. So yeah, 1 o'clock, man. I love these early start times. So much nicer. BKFC is doing BKFC 61 this weekend too. It starts right around the same time, about an
Is
hour
that the
later.
one at Mohegan?
Yeah, dude. Pretty cool. So they got the main event fell through. It was supposed to be Heather Hardy
That's
versus
right. That's right.
yeah, versus Christine Ferrer, which would have been a cool fight. That's one of the only girls that's actually entertaining to watch in the BKFC is well, I shouldn't say that. There's Britain Hart, there's a couple of them, but like one of the like the most violent one by far is Christine Ferrer. So
For sure.
she's fun to watch. And then now they got Jimmy Rivera versus Daniel Strauss. So that's a dope one to take its place. Trezano is fighting. I mean, you got a couple main big names fighting on that card. And it's a numbered one too, so it should be good. Check that out. And I don't know what else we have other than just our bets, our side bets.
Yeah, I'll lay the whale on you right now. You got the first half of it was Rebecca, and the second half's gonna be Buckley. And when I got it, the two of them was at plus 120. It's still plus odds right now, but that Rebecca line is climbing. So if you want
Yeah.
to ride that, maybe get it in sooner than later. And we got a 4-teamer steamer. We're going Kevin Doucette, Trey Waters, Slava Claus, and Despain. And that's plus 500. That's what we're
Okay.
working with this week.
I like it. I do like it. Plus 500, huh? Um, let's see,
And we'll
man.
have plenty of other little parlays out there. Fucking anyone that DMs me, I just send them just send them whatever I bet.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Reach out to Jared at Teep Picks on Instagram. He's pretty generous with his picks. I want to see those picks this week, by the way, since you did so well last week. Um, I've been doing the lock picks. I honestly don't have any underdog locks for you here. Trying to look through. Alex Caceres would be one of mine. He's a dog in this spot. Um, Menafield, I think as well. I'll give you a couple. Menafield is a hot dog. Um, I mean, for you, Nascimento would be because isn't he an underdog in this spot?
Yeah, he is, but I mean, I don't know how much. I don't imagine myself parting ways with much money on this dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Alex Caceres as one of my favorite underdogs. Alonzo Menafield, and then I will take just for one more. I will take Goff because I picked him as well. Oh no, Johnson, dude. Yeah, give me Johnson.
There
That's
you
my
go.
most confident one by far is Johnson. So let's go. Is Johnson much of a dog? Can you see?
Yeah, I think he was like at least plus 145 last I looked. I can check right now on DraftKings though.
That's an underdog. So yeah, I like those three. Parlay those three up, you get some wild numbers.
Oh wow, hey, some fucking line moving on Johnson. He's down to plus 115 now.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to take him probably
Yeah,
right
sooner
when we
than
get off.
later.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Johnson's looking good. So yeah, we'll wrap up. The only pick that Alex sent, I asked for his picks. He sent me fucking one. He said Slava Claus is a lock. I don't agree that it's a lock, but I am on that side. I've got him by KO, so I'm confident in him, but it goes to the ground. It's a fucking nightmare for us all picking. That's one fight that we know we're all picking the same side. So do what you will with that. But yeah, I like your whale bet. That's a nice safe one. Only plus 122. It's not crazy. So safest bets on the card, I think like the over and the fight to go to decision on the first fight of the night. I think that's a lock. And that could be like a nice parlay piece for some other things. It's minus five, or no, to go to decision, it's minus 450. To go over 2.5, it's minus 550. So last I checked, and then who knows what's at now, but that's your safe bet. But and probably for the Despain Waldo fight to end in round 1 as well. So
Hey,
and
before we get out of here, you got any
yeah,
movie recs for me?
movie recommendation. What are you looking for?
Um, I'm looking to. I want to feel. I want to. I want to. I like twists and turns and maybe a little sentimental shit. You never know. Fucking. I'm pretty open to anything, but I'm just. We'll go no comedy this week because I gave you comedy last week.
No comedy. Okay. Shoot. Do you got anything? Let me think for a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna give you. I'm gonna be. I like. This is the one that I was like. I have a feeling you've seen this, but I really fucking hope you haven't. Mystic River.
No, I haven't. Mystic
Let's
River.
fucking go. Mystic River. That's the one.
What's it about?
Oh, no context. Just fucking
Just
throw it
go
on
into
and
it.
enjoy. Look at the guy's daughter gets killed and he's trying to figure out who.
Okay.
So there you go.
Have you seen? It's a horror movie, but we talked about it a couple times. Have you seen Late Night with the Devil yet?
No, I haven't. I mean, your sales pitch was pretty fucking rough. You tell me, yeah, you should watch this movie. It gave me nightmares. Like, yeah, I don't think I want to do that.
Well, I showed you the trailer too, and you looked pretty locked in when I was showing the
Yeah, it
trailer.
was fucking yeah, it was it looked like a nightmare inducing movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. So if you're not trying to go scary, man, that's usually what I
Yeah,
watch.
yeah, nah, no, we'll go no con. I'll be all right with scary, but I'd prefer like along the lines of like doesn't have to be on the level of Jackie Brown, but in the ballpark of you know I
Somewhere
like
it's a
those.
solid story.
Yeah, solid story. I really like those organized crime movies.
Have you seen New Jet City?
Nope.
Like black movie. It's all black people in it, but it's fucking
Oh,
incredible, dude.
never mind. Give
None
me
of
addition.
that, dude. No, but it's one of those like it's a genre now, like black cinema. It's a genre because we're doing this fucking whole separate but equal thing again. It's wild.
Yeah, that's weird.
They make it seem like they're trying to elevate black cinema, but they are separating it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
to me, it
That's like
seems racist.
that's segregation, right? You're putting
Exactly.
something in its own category.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
that's a good one, dude. And I don't know if you've seen Dead Presidents. Have you seen Dead Presidents?
Only by Jay-Z. Fucking
Okay. Maybe you want to watch
what's
Dead
better?
Presidents. Dead Presidents is probably more up your alley because it's a
Okay.
Vietnam vet that comes back home and he lives in the ghetto. It's another one of those movies that it's one of the black cinema type movies, which again I hate it. But basically, dude, and you can read this if you were to read the back of like the movie, it's a guy that grows up in the ghetto, ends up going to fight the Vietnam War. A bunch of his friends get addicted to drugs and all kinds of shit. And then they decide with one of his old, fucking kid friends from when he was a kid before he went to Vietnam, and one of his mentors from before he went to Vietnam. They decide to rob a bank, and it's fucking sick. So they
Hell yes.
they got the dude that's like got the experience with shooting and fucking all this crazy shit. And it's one of the best movies if you're into like the idea of like feeling and the organized crime shit. That and then if you like that, I would recommend New Jet City. Or I'm sorry, New Jack City. My favorite rapper has a fucking song called New Jet City or an album called New Jet City Currency. So New
I'm
Jack City's
fucking in.
yeah, New Jack City's good. The main character in New Jack City is Wesley Snipes, dude. Fucking sick. He's like a
Oh,
crime
okay.
boss. They basically
Let's
take
fucking
over a
go.
hotel, like a big project building, and they turn it into a giant drug warehouse, basically. Like the cops can't do anything about it. A little far out there. More realistic is Dead Presidents. You'll like that one a lot. I
My
guarantee you.
you're 2-0 on recommendations right now, so I'll take whatever you're dishing out here. And
100% Dead
just because
Presidents.
I know Alex will listen to this, I gotta give. I wish he was here so I could talk shit to his face on the screen. But Dust Till Dawn. Don't waste your fucking time if you haven't seen it. It's a
Hey, man,
great movie for an hour, and then it goes full retard.
I am with Alex on this. I think that it's one of the better movies out there.
You're
Like
fucking nuts.
for what it is, you know what I mean? And I'm glad that I didn't recommend it to you because then I would be 1-1. But I was right there with him, dude. Like, I think it's a fucking great movie and it's a classic. It's an absolute classic. You don't see George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino teamed up very often. And,
Yeah,
Quentin Tarantino was the
it
brothers.
had so much potential. The first hour, I'm fucking locked in.
Yeah.
And then when they're trapped in a Mexican vampire bar, I'm out. But
Hey.
I powered through to the end. That way I could watch the whole thing and still talk shit. But I think it makes sense why Alex recommended it because he's fucking nocturnal and the dude's a vampire himself. So no
Yeah.
surprise he's into that shit.
Yeah, dude. You know what? You brought something up in my head, the weird way that my mind works. I said that Alex looks like Jillian Robertson if Jillian Robertson was, or if he was wearing a wig, right? Like Jillian Robertson is him. When I was watching Jamie Lynn Horth fight fucking Veronica Hardy, tell me that she is not Kyle Nelson. Jamie Lynn Horth is not
That
Kyle
is
Nelson.
hilarious. I can
It's the
see
same
that for
person.
sure.
Eyes are
Actually, I'm gonna do you one better right now. In Boondock Saints, the detective, I can't remember his name.
oh yeah, Willem Dafoe.
That's Alex in 50 years.
Yeah, I can see that.
You
I
see
can
that
see it.
resemblance a little bit?
Yeah. Willem
Give
Dafoe's a
Alex
good looking
40,
dude for
50
an old
years,
guy.
that's him.
Yeah, man, no, it's funny. But yeah, dude, check out fucking Dead Presidents as soon as you get a chance. You'll like it a lot, man. Good movie.
I'm in.
Had to think for a little bit, but I got one definitely for you. Cool. Have you seen Full Metal Jacket too, by the way?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Okay, I
have,
was gonna
dude.
say if you like war movies, you haven't seen that. You don't know
No,
what
the
war movies
the
are.
day before I went to boot camp, my dad had me watch Full Metal Jacket and Jarhead. And he
Okay.
started off with Jarhead, and I was like, "This is pretty fucking gay." And then he put on Full Metal Jacket. It was a good palate cleanser.
Yeah, that's a
But then
great
I was
fucking movie.
terrified the fucking next day at the airport, like, "Oh my god, I'm going there." Like,
Yeah,
it's
don't
gonna
make fun of
suck.
any fat people in boot camp. That's all,
Oh
man.
yeah, the fat body. Oh my god, fucking Private Pile
Fucking
with the
blows his
jelly
brains out and
donut,
kills the fucking drill instructor.
dude. Quick story about being hungry in boot camp. We got to the point they were kind of like fucking with our food, like they'd bring us to chow and they'd sit us down to eat and shit, but they were fucking with us and like to the point like you have a couple bites of your food and then they'll say like this kid's bringing his face to his food, not the food to his face, and now we all have to throw our food out and continue our day.
Oh wow.
It fucking sucks. So like it was like a good 2 3 days of like we're getting a couple bites out of every meal. So dude started fucking stealing peanut butter packets from the fucking chow hall. And I remember I was laying in bed one night and I see this kid in the rack next to me and I just see him like squirming with something. And he's like, I was like, what are you doing? And he fucking just hands me over a fucking peanut butter packet. And I fucking,
I
I
bet that
fucking
shit was
threw that
bomb.
motherfucker down, dude. Yeah. And then, long story short, fucking, we all ended up the drill instructors found empty peanut butter packets in the trash, knew someone was stealing from the chow hall, shook everybody down to figure out who had it. I still had a peanut butter packet in my fucking boot blouse. Dude, they fucked up my pants. It fell out and hit the floor, and this guy somehow didn't fucking see it. And I put my boot over it. And then I just hear down the line, oh, looks like we found the peanut butter bandit. And it was this kid Sears. He had his pockets loaded with peanut butter packets. And they
Fuck.
were fucking with him, like doing push-ups, asking him what time it is, and he'd have to say it's peanut butter jelly time. It was awesome, dude.
Those guys are kind of creative, man. They're kind of assholes, though, man. I know that they have a horrible
Yeah,
reputation of fucking drill sergeants and shit, man. Um, I wish that I was in the military, but I do not regret not doing boot camp. That seems horrible, to be honest. But yeah,
it was.
man.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like at the time, it sucks, and it's like the most difficult thing ever. But when you look back on it, you're like, dude, that was hilarious. Paris Island, South Carolina, is the strangest fucking place on earth. Like, there's kids there right now. There are 18-year-old kids there right now getting fucked with, and it's just so funny to think of.
Damn,
Like,
that's great.
different. It's the weirdest place on earth.
You learn life lessons, man. But yeah, dude, I'm actually really excited to hear your comments on Dead Presidents. I'm probably actually going to rewatch it tonight. I haven't seen it in a little while. But if there's anything else that you want to say before we get out, say it.
All right. Teep pics, Instagram, shoot me a DM. That's about it. And I'll throw out one more thing. I made the most degenerate bet I've ever made in my life, and I'm glad I did it. I don't know if you watched the TV show Survivor, but it turns out you can bet on the winner of the current season.
Oh
I
shit.
made I made an account on Bet Online because I thought some girl was going to win. She was plus 450. I put $100 on her, and she's currently sitting at minus 300. So I'm feeling pretty fucking good. We got like 5
Wow.
episodes left, so
What made
we'll
you
see
think she
what
was going to
happens
win?
there. I just like the way she's just kind of playing the game well, just kind of playing with people's just kind of playing with people's heads. Like she had a dude that, he had a fucking idol, which like if everybody votes on you and you pull this fucking thing out, then you're good. Like you don't get voted out. So this dude had one and she was able to convince him, like, you're good. Like, I promise you're good. In reality, she had everybody voting against him and he got sent home with the thing that would keep him safe in his pocket.
Yeah.
So she's playing the game really well.
It's it's got to be rigged too, though, right?
Oh fuck yeah, dude! So when I saw
Okay.
her go to -300, I'm like, yes. It's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
sucks
solid.
because it sucks though because it's like a spoiler alert, Like I like to see how things play out. And then when I look at the odds, it's kind of like,
Well, quit looking at the
damn,
odds.
that's a good point. I know, right? Just
You
let it
could probably
sit.
cash it out right now. It's probably up 200 or 300 right now.
Yeah, probably. I mean, she went from +450 to -300. So
I would probably consider cashing it out because you never know what if they're trying to like shake people, out of that pick or whatever, and fuck
I
them
was
over.
reading something that said there was 2 seasons of Survivor where like they do the finale live where they read the winner. And I guess there was 2 seasons where there was like crazy line movement to the point it had to have gotten leaked.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, be careful, but
Dude, I said it's the most degenerate fucking move I've ever pulled in my life. But
that's cool though. If it
whatever.
fucking works
We're
out, you're gonna turn
I'm
a more of
fucking
an
in.
addict. Well, cool, man. Yeah, good luck with the Survivor bet. You can start doing. We'll start a Survivor capping show soon, and everything is set to be a really fun weekend this Saturday. So you know, watch the fights. There's a lot of fights going on this weekend. So take care, everybody. Good luck if you're betting, if you're following us, if you're tailing us, if you're fading us. Good luck no matter what, and we will be here next week. I believe there's an event. So talk soon, guys. Take care.